So today we are going to learn about rand and rand between functions and how they help us in Excel, right? So let's learn about rand first. Rand basically what it does is it generates any number, random number between 0 and 1. Let me go ahead and type equals RAND. It gets highlighted, so I just have to press tab so it opens bracket. And without typing anything in between, I just close the bracket and say enter. So it has generated a random number between 0 and 1. Now, if I press F9, which is nothing but the refresh button, this number will change like so. And if I keep pressing it again and again, the number will keep changing, right? So this is because rand as well as rand between function are both highly volatile functions, right? Every time we refresh or we double click in some other cell, the number here would be changing as you see here, right? So if I want it to not change, all I need to do is change it from a formula to a value. I can do that by copying it by doing Control C, right clicking here, going to paste special and say values and say OK. Now, if you see, it's no more a formula and instead it's just a value. Now, if I double click anywhere, this number is not going to change. Or even if I press F9 multiple times, it is not going to change, right? Because it's no more a formula, it's just a value now. Now, let's learn about rand between. I come here and say equals rand between, and it gets highlighted. So I press tab and I want a bottom number, as you see here, comma, a top number. Let's say my number has to be between 25 and 90, right? I close the bracket and I say enter. It has generated this number 60 for me, right? Now this number would be a number between 25 and 93. Now if I press F9, and since I told you that rand between is also a volatile formula, I will see that the number changes. Every time I press F9, a random number gets generated, and this number would be a number between 25 and 93. Now, this doesn't have to be between 25 and 93. I could have made this as uh, 15 and let's say 1003. It generated a number between 15 and 1003. And if I press F9, it keeps changing. And it will be a number between these two numbers, right? So this was rand and rand between. Now let's see rand and rand between in action. So I have a bunch of names, 10 to be specific. These are classmates, and the teacher has given them an assignment where they need to present, and they have come to a consensus that they will present one slide each, so there'll be 10 slides, but they don't want to allot the slides in alphabetical order because they want it to be totally unbiased and non-routine. So they want the slides to be allocated randomly. How do they do that? Well, the rand function would help us do that right here. If you see, the names are again here in alphabetical order from Abhishek till Tashika. All we need to do is use the rand function. I say equals rand, press tab, close the bracket, and enter, right? It's generated a random number. All I need to do is come here to the bottom right and double click to auto populate it. See, so random numbers have gotten generated here. Just so that there is no bias, I'm going to refresh it 2-3 times so that the numbers are totally random. And then I come here because I don't want them to change now. It's already pretty random. I want it to stay the way it is. So I control C. I do control C. I come here, I do a right click, I say paste special and values only and say OK. Now these have been converted to values and these are random as we saw. All we need to do is select any one of these cells, go to data and select this button, which basically would sort the data from smallest to largest, and anything on its left would also be sorted accordingly, right? So I say sort and see that Aman is on the top, Pratna is at the last, right? Because 0.16 is small and Pratna's number, which is 0.7899, is the largest number as we see here. I can simply go ahead and type here as slide 1, right? And come here and do a double click for all slides to be allocated, right? So I see there was Abhishek was allotted slide 1, whereas Abhishek here is allotted slide 6. Aman had slide 2, whereas Aman here has slide 1. Amit had slide 3, whereas Amit over here has slide 9. So now it is totally unbiased and totally random. And now the students are happy because they've got what they wanted. Now let's look at Randbetween in action, right? Now you've got an assignment from your teacher, let's say, to generate a random temperature chart for a week for a period of 10 weeks, right? How do we do that? Let's use the function equals rand between, right? I press tab, it opens the bracket. And let's say this is summer going on. So the lowest temperature would be, let's say, 34 degrees Celsius, and highest would go up till 43 degrees Celsius, right? I close the bracket, I say enter. Now to make it auto-populate for the entire first week, I come here and double click. It's got auto-populated. Now, if I want it to auto-populate for rest of the other 9 weeks, all I need to do is come here, keep it pressed and drag it across till week 10 and leave. Now, these are random temperatures in Celsius for uh, 1 week over a period of 10 weeks, right? Now I don't want it to remain random, so I say Control C and I come here, I do a right click and say paste special and check the values option. I say OK. It's no more random and I got what I wanted. All I need to do now is select this. And let's say the teacher wanted the average temperature for each week for a matter of 10 weeks. I come here, I see totals, I see average option, I select that, and I have averages for each week here. So average for week 1 was about 37. For week 2, it was about 38, right? And for week 4, let's say it was 40. So this is how Randbetween had helped us generate this chart. So I hope you understood what is Rand and what is Randbetween and how they differ and how they can help us. I created this example of, let's distribution of slides and generation of temperature, but you can do this for anything, basically, uh, which for whatever purpose you want to generate random numbers. Thank you.